Just finished reading Jujutsu Kaisen and I just got a few thoughts I want to get off my chest. Now, if you watched my last review, you saw that I said I had all my faith in Gojo, right? I don't even think that it was like 3 chapters after that Gojo had got bodied, bro. That shit killed me so bad on the inside, bro. Because the fight was going smooth. I'm thinking Gojo was finna win because the nigga had the hollow purple ready for Sukuna and shit, right? As soon as he released that bitch, I'm thinking it's over. But then the chapter's still going on. A few pages later, this nigga Gojo body split in half. I'm seeing a flashback of this nigga Gojo talking about how he had a fun fight with a strong opponent. Like, what's going on? That shit threw me off. I'm like, didn't you win? But then in the next panel, you see half this man Gojo torso laying on the floor. And I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I was like, damn, what's finna happen now? I ain't gonna lie to y'all, bro. Sukuna have not should won that fight, and I'ma tell y'all why. Because Sukuna had that Raga shit, he was able to split them niggas into 2 and then 3v1 against Gojo. He jumped Gojo. That's the only reason he won. Only reason he won. Had he not jumped Gojo, I feel like Gojo could have took the dub, bro. And I know a few of y'all feel the same way too. I also understand the perspective of why none of the other sorcerers had jumped in while Gojo was fighting. I understand it would have been a hindrance to him. But at the same time, there were certain opportune moments when they could have jumped in. You see what I'm saying? Like, I still feel like at some point in time, they could have jumped in. Like, after Gojo had used that big-ass hollow purple, that would have been a perfect opportunity for niggas to slide in and start whooping Sukuna ass, bro. And niggas can try to say, but they just would have been a hindrance to Gojo. They wouldn't have been no help. They simply would have been in the way. They not stronger than Sukuna. They inferior to Sukuna. Nigga, the point still stands that after Gojo dies, if he died, they would have still had to go out there and fight, inferior or not. So why not fight together? You see what I'm saying? That's exactly what happened, and they inferior to Sukuna, yet they still have to fight him, bro. So I'm really not trying to hear none of that, because they gotta fight regardless. Also, where did the military run off to? Wasn't it a whole fucking military unit sent in by Kenjaku? Like, where do these niggas go off to? I mean, obviously, they wouldn't have been able to do shit against the likes of Sukuna. I was just wondering where them niggas had disappeared to. My next thought, Takaba, hard than a motherfucker, bro. Like, that nigga tough. I respect his storyline. I respect how he was dealing with his insecurities, how he was masking his insecurities, and he came to a point of realization with himself, and he was even bonding with Kenjaku. Like, as I'm reading that whole little scene, I'm seeing like Kenjaku talking about how he genuinely enjoying himself and shit, right? And I'm like, is this nigga playing? Like, is he playing or is he for real? Because Kenjaku throughout the whole series has been on bullshit, so I can't tell when this nigga lying or when he for real or not. That nigga really was saying he was enjoying Takaba's company, his presence, the way they was fighting. Also, when they was going through all them scenarios, was that a domain expansion? Because I didn't see Takaba say domain expansion. Did he like just leap into that bitch, or was he like fully using his imagination on some shit? And I'm not gonna say I found Takaba humorous. All the jokes that was busting and cracking, I ain't find none of that shit funny. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm reading that shit with a straight face. I just simply enjoyed the aesthetic of the story itself, how they was carrying it out. Because if you comment right now and tell me you found some of them jokes funny, your humor bone needs some tweaking. I ain't gonna lie to you. You need to readjust. You need to rethink your life and how you perceive humor. But I definitely rock with how Kenjaku had beat Takaba, and Takaba said he was satisfied with the end result. Like, I was definitely rocking with the serene state of peace he had laying on that ground when he lost the fight. And that's when my nigga Yuta had stepped in, bro. Nigga came in with a clutch game-winning buzzer beater shot. When I saw that nigga Kenjaku die, I was like, yes, bro, yes. That nigga talking about he had a contingency plan to let his will live on. My nigga, you transferring your shit to Megumi don't mean shit, bro. Like, he should have just took his death and accepted it. He really ain't do shit for real. Speaking of contingency plan, if you saw in my last review, I was talking about how none of the sorcerers was having a contingency plan and they were just watching the fight. But as I read later on, they did in fact have a contingency plan. They was thinking about how they was gonna beat Sukuna in case Gojo lost, which bumped my respect up for them highly, bro. Cause at first I was in that bit thinking they was just in that bit just watching the fight. They wasn't finna do shit, but they definitely proved me wrong. I'm glad they had a real talk down and brainstorming moment to think about what they was gonna do. And I also like how they wrote the story to make a few characters not want to fight, just go and spend time with their family in their final moments. Understand it. I'm not gonna call them people a bitch for that, but you feel me? Like, it's gonna be some people who not willpowered enough to do that. So I feel them on that. And RIP to my nigga Higuruma. He was a real one. He was really one of the top strategists in that room while they was talking. Like, that man came in with the Executioner's Blade playing. That shit was hard. I ain't gonna lie to you. But the fact that he didn't even get to use the executioner's blade to kill Sukuna the way he wanted to, it was like these niggas had finally won, bruh. These niggas really finna kill this nigga with the executioner's blade. They finna get Sukuna right. Oh, time Sukuna got Higuruma first. Also, as far as everyone on the battlefield goes, where the fuck is everybody else? Where did everyone else disappear to, bro? Maybe it's a second contingency plan, like how when Choso and the shorty was fighting Kenjaku in that little lair with the elder nigga, and Choso had made an opening for the shorty to come in and attack. Maybe it's the same with them versus Sukuna. They fighting and making an opening for the next set of people to come in and attack. That's what I'm thinking about right now. Speaking of Choso, bro, off rip, this nigga Sukuna came straight for Choso. Ain't give him the time of day to even breathe. I'm hoping he ain't take that nigga life, bro, because that nigga put his arm straight through his fucking chest. Made another donut meme out of this shit, bro. And I'm just like, out of all people for you to do that shit to, you did it to my dog Choso. That's crazy. Speaking of death, are they not going to reveal whether or not Nobara died? Like, are they going to wait until after all this shit is over to reveal whether or not she alive? Because I ain't gonna lie, when Yuta had healed her, I'm thinking, nigga, they ain't said shit else about her having that second chance. Like, wouldn't it be dope as fuck for her to have been healed and she would have came into the fight swinging at niggas, bro? I mean, when you really think about it, she could have been useful in the fight of both Ragas and Sukuna versus Gojo. I say that because y'all remember when Mahito had split himself in two, and then Nobara used her hairpin shit to make the nigga, you feel me? And then not only did that Mahito feel it, but the other Mahito feel it, giving Itadori room to box him. What if she would have used, you feel me? She would have used her hairpin shit on one of the Ragas and made both of the other niggas, you feel me? Like, that shit would have been tough. I'm just theorizing at this point. But realistically, Yuta the only one carrying the fate of the whole anime right now. Like, everything is riding on Yuta. If that shit go wrong, niggas is not finna make it. So wait, would that make Yuta the strongest sorcerer of today now that Gojo is dead? But with all that being said, thank you for watching. Comment your thoughts in the comment section down below and stay tuned for the next update.